biting weather.
I like it.
External heat and cold had little influence on Scrooge. No warmth could warm, no wintry weather chill him. The place was arranged so that Scrooge may keep an eye upon his clerk, who in a small little corner was copying letters.
Excuse me, Mr. Scrooge, sir.
Now is not a good time, Mr. Cratchit.
Yes, sir. It's rather cold today, sir.
Then we should bundle up, shouldn't we, Mr. Cratchit?
Yes, sir. I was wondering if we could put just a little coal on the fire.
Coal costs money, Mr. Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
Do you think my money grows on trees?
No, sir. I'll come on home, sir.
Excellent, Mr. Cratchit.
I know.
Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone. Scrooge! Nobody ever stops him in the street to say with gladsome looks, "My dear Scrooge, how are you?" And no beggars implored him to bestow a trifle.
Beggars!
And no children asked him what time it was o'clock.
Children!
Even the blind men's dogs took courage to know him. When they saw him, they would tug their donors into doorways and up courts. But what did Scrooge care? It was the very thing that he liked. To edge his way along the crowded paths of life, warning all human sympathy to keep its distance.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Merry Christmas! Christmas is a humbug!
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure.
What right do you have to be merry? What reason do you have to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come on, Uncle. What right do you have to be dismal? What right do you have to be morose? You're rich enough.
Ah, humbug!
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in a world of such fools as this? Idiots going around with Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. What's Merry Christmas to you except for a time that pays bills without money? A time to balance the books and having every item in it presented dead against you. A time for becoming a year older and not an hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew, keep Christmas your own way, and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone. And all the good it has it done me, all the good has it ever done you.
There are many things from which I have derived good, but which I have not profited, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. I've always thought of Christmas time when it comes around a good time. A kind, loving, charitable, pleasant time. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
Say another sound and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder why you don't go to Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come dine with us tomorrow.
I'd rather die in hell first!
Uncle, while you're not joining us, it would be a great pleasure to me and to my wife.
Ah, yes, your wife. I'm told she brought very little to the marriage. Tell me, why did you marry her?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love! Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle, but you never gave us a reason for not coming before. Why give us a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon!
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon!
I am sorry to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrel from which I have been a party. But I will keep my trial in homage to Christmas, and will keep my Christmas humor to the last. So a Merry Christmas, Uncle. And a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Mr. Cratchit.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Fred.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Scrooge and Marcus, I believe.
Get rid of them!
Yes, sir. I really don't think this is a good time.
It's as good a time as any other.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe, have the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley.
Addressing Mr. Marley would be no pleasure. He died 7 years ago.
I'm sorry, sir. Merry Christmas, ladies. Now.
Excellent, Mr. Cratchit. As I was saying, Mr. Marley died 7 years ago this very night.
On Christmas Eve, what a pity.
It's as good as any other time to die.
We have no doubt that his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
It is.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Marley.
It doesn't matter.
At this festive season of the year, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and the destitute who suffer greatly at the present time. Many are in want of common necessities, and hundreds are in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
The workhouses, are they still in order?
They are, still I wish I could say they are not.
So the work valley and the jailhouse are still in full vigor then?
Well, very busy, sir.
I'm very glad to hear it.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy poor some meat and drink. Hand me for more, Mr. Marley.
Scrooge.
What?
Oh, sorry, I was just saying that your name is Mr. Scrooge.
I know my own name.
We choose this time because it is a time of all others, when one is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall we put you down for, Mr. Marley?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what my wish is, that is my answer. I helped to establish the things that I have mentioned before. Those who are badly off must go there.
Well, many can't go there, would rather die.
Then they better do it then and increase the surplus population. It's not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business, let alone another's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon.
Merry Christmas! A penny for Carol first?
I really don't think this is a good time.
Get out of my
Perhaps
office!
you prefer the 12 days of Christmas?
No!
7 days?
Get out!
3?
No! Humbug!
1 day, that's my okay, I'll just put it there. Okay.
There's another fellow. There's another fellow.
Mr. Scrooge, sir, I know this probably isn't a good time, but
I suppose you want all day tomorrow.
it's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient and it's not fair! What do you expect for me to pay you a day's wages for no work? Yet you think yourself ill-used when I pay you a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be earlier here the next morning to make up for it.
Thank you, sir. I will, sir. And a very Merry Christmas.
Humbug!
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's book, went home to bed. He lived in chambers which had once belonged to his deceased partner. They were a gloomy suite of rooms and a lorry pile of buildings up a yard. It was old enough now and dreary enough for nobody lived in it but Scrooge. Now, there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was very large. It is also a fact that Scrooge had not bestowed one thought on Marley since his last mention of his 7 years dead partner that afternoon. And let any man explain to me, if he can, how Scrooge thought in a knocker, not a knocker, but Marley's face.
Humbug, I don't believe in ghosts. I enjoy solitude. I like the darkness. Darkness is cheap. And cheap is tonic for the sensible man.
Scrooge walked through all of his rooms just to see that all was right. He had just enough recollection and desire of the face to do that. Nobody in the closet, nobody in his dressing gown, which is hanging up a suspicious altitude against the wall. Thus secured against surprise, Scrooge put on his dressing gown and his nightcap and sat down before the fire to take his sleep.
Humbug, I don't believe in ghosts. I like the darkness. Darkness is cheap. And cheapness is tonic for the sensible man. I enjoy solitude. I depend on no others. No one else can care for me. Humbug! I won't believe it.
Ebenezer Scrooge!
What do you want with me?
Oh,
Who are you?
ask me who I was!
Particular for a shame. Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley!
Humbug!
You don't believe in me!
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because such a little thing disturbs him. You may be a bit of beef, a lot of mustard, an underdone potato. You're more gravy than grave, whatever you are. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Why should spirits roam the earth? Why should they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him shall travel his fellow man, and he travel far and wide. And if the spirit does not go forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to witness what it cannot share, for what it has shared might be on earth and turn to happiness.
You're better. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, yard by yard. Do you recognize the strange pattern from the coil you bear yourself? It is as heavy as the 7 Christmas Eves ago. It's long and ponderous chain.
Oh, Jacob, Jacob Marley, speak, but speak to comfort me, Jacob.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge. It is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor could I tell you all I would. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anymore. Mark me. In life, my spirit never roamed beyond the limits of our counting home.
But you were a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind should have been my business. The common welfare should have been my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence of it all should have been my business. Should have been but a drop in the comprehensive ocean of my business. Oh, captive, bound in double iron, for one's life opportunity misused. Mark me, my time is nearly gone.
I will.
I am here tonight to tell you that you have a chance to escape my fate, Ebenezer.
Thank ye, Jacob. You were always a good friend to me. Thank ye.
You will be haunted by your spirit.
Is that the hope, then, you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Then you have no chance of escaping the path I tread. Expect the first. Tomorrow night at 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over with?
No! Expect the second on the next night at the same time, and the third when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more.
Stay awake until 1. The hour itself in nothing. Mistaken in death as you were in life, my friend.
Merry Christmas.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What do you want with me?
Your education, your happiness, your salvation, your welfare.
My welfare? Well, I thank you, but a meeting during the day would have been much more productive about it.
Your reclamation.
I have no reclamation of the past. I do not wish to see it.
Why not?
It bothers me.
Take heed, rise and walk with me.
But spirits, I won't need my dressing gown.
No one will see us.
Where are we going?
Through space and time.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the wall and stood upon an open country road with fields on either hand. The darkness and the mist had vanished with it, for it was a clear, cold winter day with snow upon the ground.
Do you remember this place?
Remember it? Good heaven! I was a schoolboy here. Of course I remember it. Why there's Longbottom, over there.
These are but the shadows of things that have been. They have no consciousness of us.
Then why did she smile when I looked at her? Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. Why, Christmas is a humbug. What's Christmas time to you? Why, if you had your will, every idiot
Oh,
who went about...
piffle! I just wanted to say goodbye. All the children are leaving for the holidays.
Not all of them. The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, left still, is left alone. Why should this poor lad be alone on Christmas?
His father, my father, never allowed me to come home for the holidays.
Why not?
My father was a very stern man, but that didn't matter. Christmas time was a time for solitude, a time to catch up on my studies, or reading. And even this day, he has friends. Look at that. Alibaba on his head, dancing along. What right he had being married that Christmas?
Yes, but he had not a real friend to talk to. A living person.
What? Alibaba wasn't real? Robinson Crusoe? Friday? I suppose they weren't real either. He may do, this boy.
Let us see another Christmas.
No, we're all very much the same.
Not all of them. Look,
Ebenezer!
Bam!
Ebenezer, dear brother!
What are you doing here, Fan?
I've come to bring you home, dear brother, to bring you home.
Home, Fan?
Yes, home, Ebenezer. Father's so much kinder than he used to be. That home's like the heaven. He spoke to me so gently, Wonder Light, and I was not afraid to ask him once more if he would come home. And he said yes, you should, and he brought me in a coach to bring you.
Ah!
He has arranged an apprenticeship for you, and you're to be a man and to never come back here. But first we are to be together all the Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
You are quite the little woman, Van.
yes, always a gentlewoman, whom a breath might have withered. She had a gentle heart.
I'm not getting sated, spirits. God